Jimmy, talk to me about bringing back customers in general. What are your thoughts on it? How does it play into, restaurant marketing? Talk to me a little bit.
Well, one of my is it's easier for me to engage with my existing restaurant clients, invite them back into the restaurant time and time again. They become raving fans. They become just family members, if you will. So if you're talking about communicating with my existing client base, it's a staple. If you're talking about clients that we've lost, that's a whole nother road. I'm not sure which way you wanted to go.
Yeah, I mean, they're all on there today. They're all topics that I want to dive into. These are basically bullet points for you and I to roll through and give some background on. It drives me nuts. I see folks that are advertising in Valpak and Money Mailer and all these different programs, and everybody, they just, they are just dying to get more new customers in their business. And then when you actually talk to them, they're not doing shit for their existing customers.
Exactly.
Oh my God, what are you doing? 2/3 of the equation, 2 parts of 3 are taking care of your existing guests, getting them to come back more often and spend more money.
That's the only way you can succeed.
Absolutely. Yeah, so if you're spending money on marketing and advertising and you're putting a single dollar out there to get somebody in the door and you're not doing anything, I'm gonna hit the first one right off the bat. It's in most cases they don't even know how to get the information. They don't know how to capture. I call it name capture. They don't know how to capture the names of the folks that are coming through the door. So, and I've seen all different versions. I've seen the dirty, email list on top of the garbage can and that they're expecting people to sign up for, which never seems, it's like the list is really long and really dirty. So it means that they're not like taking it in the back and like putting it in the computer.
Yep.
I've seen the old name in the bucket, right?
Yep.
These are all still valid. I'm not saying that, like, in my world, you do everything that you humanly possibly can. And a good example is a client of ours. Tell about our client in Texas, Jimmy.
Yeah, just amazing at capturing all.
Your audio is a little wonky on me. I don't know if everybody's experiencing that. So Jimmy was talking about one of our clients, and it's a client in Texas, and he's a rewards member, a couple restaurants, and we rolled out the program for him. And he's been around. He's been with Restaurant Success System for years, and we have all these new bells and whistles and things. And he jumped wholeheartedly in. And when we put out the program, one of the things that I encourage, I was like, you know what? I really still think you need to do manual name capture. So at the very least, you should be capturing names with a basic sign-up form. And it could be an enter to win. It could be a birthday registration. It could be, anything, and you should always still be doing that. And you still should be putting those folks in your database. So he went out and we actually run the whole entire rewards program for him. So we can see who's coming in manually and who's coming in digitally. And, and he's got a lot of people that are still coming in manually. There's a burden of, I lost you there for a little bit. There's a burden of, you have these cards and you got to enter them, but we have resources for that. I mean, if that's my problem, every single name that I get on one of these cards that we use in a restaurant, every single one of them has value. I mean, if I can get that person to come back in the restaurant, right? Even if you just made $1 off of every single meal that you sold, and I hope you make more than that, but if you made $1 off of every single meal that you sold or every single guest that came through the door, wouldn't you want to have 1 million of them? So the more ways you can capture names is really important. So capturing them actually, I think, is the easier part. Jimmy and I, we always talk, we recommend a digital solution, text VIP to this number, boom, they end up in a database. They get sent a text. The text message actually brings them to a web form. And there's a lot of value there with the web form because you can do it a couple different ways. We can pull people through Facebook and get them into our list. We can pull them through this web form. And if the web form's done right, we can actually utilize information to get them through our existing website. So we can pixel them and we can do some different things, a lot of advanced marketing strategies by doing one simple thing. But the reality is that, you should have multiple ways to capture the information. It all needs to land in the same place. So it needs to end up into a database. That's a terminology that Jimmy and I've used forever, is a database.
Yep.
And a database is good, but you really need a CRM, right? Customer relationship management software that you can do things with it. And one of the things I see a lot of, and I work with folks all the time, and I talk about loyalty and rewards and capturing information all the time. And one of the things that inevitably happens is people have a sign-up form on their website that leads to an email capture, and they're actually doing some good stuff. So they're capturing some names, they're capturing some birthdays, they're capturing email. That, at the very least, I'm at least impressed they get the value of it.
Right.
There's a whole different thing that happens with it, and it comes up later on as we talk, but it's what you do with the data and how you utilize the data to really get your message to the right people at the right time, saying the right thing. So it's really a message to market match that you ultimately wanted to do. And I'll leave that open for when we talk about segmentation, Jimmy, because you put together one of the most badass segmentation things I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you, sir.
So you got to have a reliable way to capture information, and it all needs to land in the same place. That place needs to do things for you. Email is great. It ideally should also do texting. And then on top of that, I believe in direct mail, and I think, you should be mailing. And in some cases, you're going to get one of each of those pieces of information. Well, if I have any one of those, I can do something with it. So that's
all three. I can dominate.
Yeah, if I can get all three, I can send you something. If you don't use it, I can remind you with a text. I can follow up with an email. Hey, that was the Dr. Feelgood finger there, Jimmy.
Little mini me.
So let's talk about number two.